Welcome to the Crossblades project video. Crossblades has been developed mainly as my final year project in game development for college. In this video, I'll be running through every feature currently available in Crossblades as of the time of submission. Upon starting up Crossblades, you will see an ident of my personal logo. You will then load into the main scene where you'll be prompted with a warning message. This must be accepted before you can proceed onto the main menu. In the main menu, you will be presented with three options: multiplayer, options, or quit. Quit, as the name would suggest, will allow you to quit out of the application. In the option menu, there's two toggleable options. These are move by head and left-handed. By default, your movements are based on the direction your controller is facing. By selecting move by head, movements will now be determined relative to the direction you're facing. Movement in Crossblade is controlled by the thumbstick on your non-dominant hand. By default, it presumes the player is right-handed, therefore controls are in the left hand. If the player is left-handed, they can check the box and the controls are swapped, so controls will now be controlled by the right hand. Next is the multiplayer menu. In the multiplayer menu, you will be given two options: to host a game or to join a game. If you select to host a game, you will be prompted to choose which mode you would like to play. You can select whether the match will be to a first number of hits or the best out of a certain number. In the event that you select best of, you cannot enter an even number of rounds. Once you are happy with this setup, you can click next. In this menu, you get to choose which weapons you'd like to use. You can pick between the Proto Sword and the Proto Shield. Once you have selected the weapons you would like to use, you press connect. This will bring you to a screen where your IP and the port number of the game is displayed. This will be needed by the player joining your session. If you select join game, you will be prompted to put in the IP and port number of the game you wish to join. Once this is done, you click next. You are once again brought to the screen where you select which weapon you'd like to use. You then press connect. The game will then try and connect you to the game. If it cannot, you will be notified and you will have the option to back out and try again. If the information is correct, you will be connected to the game. In the event that either player has disconnected unexpectedly, the host will be told that the other player has lost connection, and if you're a joining player, you will be informed that you have lost connection to the host. When combat begins, you will see the weapons that you have selected are now in your hands. These weapons will have a coloured highlight on them. If the highlight is blue, that means the weapon currently has a charge and can be used to damage your opponent. If the highlight is red, that means the weapon does not currently have a charge but can still be used to block opponent's attacks. Your weapon becomes discharged if it collides with another weapon or if you hit your opponent incorrectly. You can recharge your weapon by bringing them within a charge box. These are invisible boxes located all around your player. Charge on your weapon determines where you can and cannot hit your opponent. For example, if you charge a weapon using right hand charge boxes, you can only hit your opponent on the left hand side. If you attempt to hit him on the right hand side by maneuvering your weapon around, it will not do any damage on contact. These charge effects, however, are not fixed and will change depending on where you're standing relative to your enemy. So if you're standing on the left hand side, all attacks be treated as if you're attacking from your left side. If you're on the right, the same. And if you're attacking from behind, the attack sides are swapped. Additionally, if you have the high ground, aka your opponent is crouched, all your attacks will be treated as if they're from one level above. So mid-height attacks will be treated as high attacks will be treated as chop attacks. As you may have noticed, there's two different inverse kinematic elements in this game. The player's arms and shoulders will automatically readjust and position themselves to always be attached to the weapons. As well, if the player was to crouch, the model's knees will automatically bend. These are not purely visual elements, however. These will also reposition where the hitboxes are. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll leave you all with some gameplay.